What's up, bro? So last time I showed some upgrades or modifications that I made for the Wolf Mask Warriors from Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 1, but this time I'm going to be showing some upgrades or modifications for the Wolf Mask Warriors from Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2. So first up, I'm going to be showing some modifications that I did for the first version, but also apply to the second version. So first up, we have the armor piece from the Rockstar Batman minifigure from the LEGO Batman Movie minifigure series blind bags. Now, this armor works for the first version, but it also works for the second version as well. Another piece you can add to your Wolf Mask Warriors is this archer piece from Lady Iron Dragon from the LEGO Ninjago movie, a random purple armor piece from the Lady Bone Demon from Monkey Kid, a purple Lord Raz armor piece, a purple Stone Gargoyle armor piece from Nexo Knights, a purple belt mold piece from Catwoman from the LEGO Batman movie for a tactical look. And lastly, a purple cape piece, which is the last modification from the last video that also works for this version of the Wolf Mask Warrior. So now that we're done with the old stuff, now let's get into some new things. So first off, for the second version of the Wolf Mask Warriors, they decided to reuse the head from the first Wolf Mask Warrior design, which makes no sense. It doesn't fit the minifigure at all. So that's why I'm going to be swapping out the head for a different head. I'm instead going to be using this headpiece from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just think that this is a much better head choice compared to that first one, which is just like dark blue for no reason at all, so I think this is a much better headpiece to use. Next up, here are some armor pieces that you can use to modify your Wolf Mask Warriors. So first up, we have the Crystal King or Overlord armor piece from Crystallized. This armor is also used for the latest Lord Ross minifigure, but I doubt many of you have that minifigure, so this is a nice armor piece to use for these versions of the Wolf Mask Warriors. I mean, it just fits really well with the rest of the gunmetal silver body. Next up, we have this armor mold, which is, well, it was originally for the Stone Warriors. That's where the red one's from, and the black ones are from the Lava Monsters from Nexo Knights. The purple version I showed earlier, which is also good for this minifigure, but the black one, as you can see here, also isn't that bad, and the red one, as you can see here from the Stone Army, is probably the best one in my opinion, even better than the purple one. Like, the red one, it just matches. And the last armor piece that I recommend using for the Wolf Mask Warriors is this black spiky armor piece from the Lava Monsters from Nexo Knights once again. Now, as you can see here, doesn't look that bad. Alright, next up, capes. First up, we have this beat up red cape, which is from a Gargoyle or Orc minifigure from a CMF series. Now, this red cape piece fits these guys so well. Now, there's also a black version of this cape, or not version, it's kind of similar to the red, but it's also different. This cape piece also kind of works for these guys, as you can see here, but the red is definitely better. And lastly, a random dark red cape piece also gets the job done for this minifigure, and bam, that also doesn't look that bad. Now, final cape piece that I want to show technically isn't a cape piece, this is just a random cloth piece which I got from a Zombie Hunter Spider-Man minifigure from the Marvel Studios CMF Series 1. Now, this red color piece also kind of works, as you can see here, does fit with the rest of the red print on the minifigure. Next up, I'm going to be showing some ways that you can add some better arms to this minifigure. So I could just show some different colored arms like silver or purple or red, but that would be lazy, so I'm going to be showing some printed arms that you can use to modify this minifigure. So this first one is the printed Carnage arms from the first Carnage minifigure from Spider-Man. These arms, as you can see here, work wonders for this minifigure by adding a bit more detail to the arms. And I also added some purple hands, as you can see here. Second group of printed arms you can use is these printed silver arms, which are from the Rockstar Batman minifigure from the LEGO Batman Movie minifigure series blind bags. There's like some silver on the torso, so that's why these arms go well with that. And there's also some black printing, so extra detail, and we also have some red hands attached. And for the final batch of printed arms, we have these printed red Deadshot arms from a random LEGO Batman set. Now these arms are red, but they also have some silver, so I think it does fit well with the rest of the minifigure, and we also have some purple hands attached. And next up we have two belts that you can use. Now earlier I showed the belt mold in purple, which goes good for this minifigure, but the second one that you can use is this red one from Skylar from Ninjago Hunted. Now this red one is a fun addition to this minifigure if you don't have the purple Catwoman belt, but if you don't have this, you can also use the black version of this belt, which is from Clutch Powers, and this one isn't as good as the purple or the red one, but this one also gets the job done. Next up, I'm going to be showing some torso choices that you can use to modify this minifigure. First up, we have the Sakaran torso piece from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Now, this torso is actually black, but it does have a lot of gunmetal silver printing, which matches the rest of the minifigure, and it also has some dark red stripes, which could match as claw marks, so that's why I think it matches these Wolf Mask Warriors. And then we have this random Thor torso piece from Marvel, except the torso is reversed, and this is just a typical gunmetal silver armor piece, but it does have this red cloth print on the top, which I think matches this minifigure. Then we have this Lady Iron Dragon torso piece from the LEGO Ninjago movie with some purple hands attached. I think this armor or this torso could work for a female Wolf Mask Warrior. Then we have the Ninjago Legacy version of the Stone Army Stone Warrior torso piece, except it's reversed. Now, I decided to use this torso piece for one of the modifications in case you feel like this minifigure has way too much gunmetal silver and you want some more red because like Blood Moon and stuff. So that's why I decided to use this, and there's also some red arms and some purple hands attached. And for the final torso, we have the Hawkeye torso piece from the first Avengers movie. Now, this torso piece is black, but it does have some gunmetal silver and some dark red printing, so I think this would be good for like a tactical version of the Wolf Mask Warrior. And lastly, I'm going to be showing some alternate legs that you can use to modify or upgrade these Wolf Mask Warriors. So first up we have the random lava monster legs from Nexo Knights. Now, these legs are black, but they have a good amount of silver printing, which matches the torso, and there's also some red printing as well. So lastly, we have some vermilion legs from Ninjago Hands of Time. Attach the rest of the minifigure, and bam. Now the legs do lack some purple compared to the official minifigure, but I do think it gets the job done. And one final, very simple, probably simplest modification or upgrade that you can do to these new Wolf Mask Warriors is simply reversing the torso, because the Wolf Mask Warrior logo is kind of small on the torso on the front, but on the back it's pretty big, so, and it also matches with the legs, like the purple print. So yeah, this is the simplest modification in this entire video, which doesn't even use other parts. We just take the torso and flip it around, and I genuinely think this looks much better. But anyway, that's basically it for this video. Now right here we have a custom Wolf Mask Warrior using some of the techniques that I showed in today's video. The only technique from this that I didn't show was actually this, where you use these two black pieces to attach a cape piece to an armor with some stud tops, but yeah. This custom is probably going to be on the thumbnail because it's not that bad, but hope you bros enjoyed these random upgrades or modifications. Tell me in the comments below if you want to see more of these sort of videos, and if you haven't, check out the first video where I showed some modifications for the first versions of the Wolf Mask Warriors. But anyway, feel free to check out my other videos. I mostly make custom minifigures. Have a great day. Godspeed, bros.